What is going on? Welcome back to the RouG Pod. It's your man Hendo here, and today we are going to dive into the top 10 off-season moves that are going to help shape the 2023 NFL season. Now, to some of these moves may not be eye-catching, they may not be needle-moving, but I think there are going to be some moves that are going to help some teams possibly get over the hump, especially in the AFC, with this now being a powerhouse for offensive teams. Offensively, the AFC has now become a hotbed of quarterbacks and offensive systems that can kind of help these teams battle the Kansas City Chiefs for the NFL title. There are quite a few moves that just missed the cut a little bit, but I guarantee you the ones that I did put on this list are going to affect who gets into the NFL tournament, known as the postseason. So make sure that you stick around and check out this list because some of these selections may surprise you. So coming in at number 10, this may not have particularly been an off-season move for this off-season, but I'm going to have this count anyway because I think this is going to be very impactful. Once again, I know this technically counts as last season, but in November of 2022, the Jacksonville Jaguars traded for wide receiver Calvin Ridley from the Atlanta Falcons. The Jaguars knew that Ridley was suspended for the rest of the season and wouldn't be able to help them going forward. I believe the Jags were playing chess when they made this move, knowing that Ridley could help them during the 2023 season. Already having Evan Ingram as they re-signed him and having Christian Kirk become their number one, Calvin Ridley just adds another dynamic to this explosive offense. Now, with Trevor Lawrence coming into his third year, technically his second because we're not going to count that Urban Myers thing. He kind of screwed him up, maybe taking him back a year with the nonsense that was going on there. But I think Calvin Ridley is just going to make them explosive. He is 2 years removed from a 1,300-yard, 9-touchdown season. I believe he can get back into form. And also what people don't realize is he had some mental issues going on, some things that he was dealing with in his personal life, and I think that he's taking care of those. Also, his body is fully healed, so he doesn't have the wear and tear of a full NFL season. Actually, I think an NFL season and a half weighing him down. So he's going to be fully refreshed in a new offense with a star quarterback. And with the AFC South being in flux, knowing that the Indianapolis Colts are starting a rookie quarterback. The Tennessee Titans don't know what they're going to do with Tannehill, and the Houston Texans bringing in C.J. Stroud to reignite that franchise. This just gives them the upper hand on winning the division and actually getting a first-round bye. Just know teams will have a tough time stopping them going forward. Coming in at number 9 for me is going to be Javon Hargrave, signed from the Philadelphia Eagles going to the San Francisco 49ers. You know anything about the 49ers, they are known for defense, especially that defensive line. Armstead, Kinlaw, and Defensive Player of the Year, Joey Bosa. The rich just get richer. With Hargrave, they are getting an all-pro type defensive tackle, who I believe just came off a career year with 11 sacks from the defensive tackle position. And you line him up with Joey Bosa and Armstead, I think that the 49ers are going to lead the league in sacks and wreak havoc. And the only problem with them is, what is the quarterback position going to do? And defense carried them to another Super Bowl. Now, I know that the NFL has transitioned to an offensive league, but if you can shut teams down, if you can get pressure on the quarterback, kind of helps your cornerbacks not have to cover as long. It takes quarterbacks off of their spot, gives them less opportunities to score. I believe that this is an outstanding addition by the San Francisco 49ers. Coming in at number 8. This one kind of hurt me a little bit personally because this was the number 1 free agent on my board. I don't know why he sat out there for so long, but I just thought this was someone that with the needs of the Ravens, we were going to pursue him. I don't know if it's a money thing, if he didn't want to come here, or if we even pursued him in lease. But my choice for this one has to be Leonard Floyd going to the Bills, the number 1 free agent on many people's boards. Listen, this guy over the last 3 years has 27 sacks. Now you pair him with a healthy Von Miller, linebacker Matt Milano, and that defense, they have the secondary coming back. I think Tre'Davious White is supposed to be healthy this season. Sky's the limit for them. Last time we saw the Bills, they were getting run over by the Cincinnati Bengals. So you couple that high-scoring offense with a defense that can finally match up. This may be the opportunity that the Bills have been waiting for to finally get over that hump and make it to a Super Bowl. The only question that many people may have is, Leonard Floyd do it without Aaron Donald? Well, Aaron Donald got hurt last season and he still produced. So I think this is an excellent signing by the Bills, and to all those fans out there, especially the Ravens flock that loves to say, sign everybody. It seems like the Rams and the Bills seem to make a way. Now, number 7 really hits close to home because it is something within the Ravens division, and that would be Zadarius Smith being traded from the Minnesota Vikings to the Cleveland Browns. Well, we all know that fiasco that happened when we thought that we had signed Zadarius Smith, but we really didn't, and he went to the Vikings. That didn't kind of work out. They're doing a salary dump over there. So the Cleveland Browns hired Zadarius Smith, a team that's already known for defense and having Myles Garrett on one side. You put Zadarius Smith on the other, and you have a pass rush combo like no other. Now, I know they had Jadavius Jadeveon Clowney, but he was not really on the pass rush side. He could track down ball carriers, but now you get a more well-rounded linebacker or edge rusher in Zadarius Smith. Then you also bring in Jim Schwartz to be the new defensive coordinator. I just believe this could have been a little bit higher just because Zadarius is on the older side. I do think that he's going to make an impact. And if Deshaun Watson makes that leap to being Deshaun Watson, the Browns could be serious contenders in the AFC North. I don't discount them. I know everybody else is like Cleveland is Cleveland, but there comes a time when franchises change. Just remember, the New England Patriots used to be a downtrodden franchise until they got on Brady, Bill Belichick. So there always can become a time when a team sheds its old losing ways and starts to become winners. Coming in at number 6, we have the New Orleans Saints signing quarterback Derek Carr. Now, in some circles, Derek Carr is not considered an upper-tier quarterback, but he is steady. He's got to be 10 times better than what Andy Dalton brought to them. Dennis Allen, they parted ways with Mariota and starting Desmond Ridder, hoping that he can be somebody. And then you have the Carolina Panthers with the number 1 overall pick, Bryce Young. This just gives the Saints an opportunity because they were pretty much a quarterback away actually making it to the playoffs. Now, I don't know what they're going to do with Jameis Winston. He's a fine backup, but Derek Carr is not a slouch. I personally wouldn't pick him over some of the other quarterbacks that were available, but he is the Las Vegas Raiders all-time leader in most passing categories. And let's not forget, he has rookie sensation. I guess he's no longer a rookie, but he has wide receiver Chris Olave to throw to. And that dude was just dynamic. To me, he could have been rookie of the year. I wouldn't have been upset, but he did all of this with Andy Dalton behind center. So adding Derek Carr kind of brings them up a notch in the NFC South, and they could possibly win the division and make it to the playoffs. Coming in at number 5, this one is not a player. This one is actually a coach. And for a lot of people, they're mixed reviews. They may think that this franchise gave up a little bit too much to acquire him, but you have to do what you have to do because you've already given up a lot to get the quarterback the year prior. The Denver Broncos signing Sean Payton to become the head coach to pair him with Russell Wilson. Last season, Russell Wilson was abysmal. I know because I had him on my fantasy team and he did not do well for me, but most seem to think that this was an aberration. He can get back to the Russell Wilson of the Seattle days when he was a Super Bowl champion and a Super Bowl runner-up. Now, Nathaniel Hackett, I don't think that anyone believes he's a fit head coach. He was just in over his head. His situational awareness was terrible. Sean Payton, by contrast, is the QB whisperer. You saw what he did with Drew Brees. You saw what he did with Jameis Winston. Like, he gets the most out of his quarterbacks. And his system, to me, is one of the top 5, right up there with Kyle Shanahan. I just think if they can get the running back Williams back healthy, playing like he was before the injury, that this offense can do a whole lot. Because, look, they have Cortland Sutton, Jared Jeudy, Tim Patrick's coming back. The tight end Dolchich, have the other tight end, I don't even want to pronounce his name. I think his name is Albert. I'm going to go with Albert. So they have the makings of being a very explosive offense. The only question is, can the Sean Payton, Russell Wilson merge work out? Coming in at number 4, we have Orlando Brown Jr. going to the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, this kid, I don't know if he's just following quarterbacks, but he started with Lamar Jackson. He went to Patrick Mahomes. Now he is with Joe Burrow. And if you follow the Cincinnati Bengals, you know that one problem that the Bengals have had since Joe Burrow has been in the league has been protecting the quarterback. Not mistaken, in his 3 years, Joe Burrow has been sacked 124 times. Not to fault Cincinnati, but they've tried to pass. They've got Kappa, they got Karras, they went out and got Lyle Collins to help protect them, but Lyle Collins went out with an ACL injury for the year. I think the other 2 got nicked up towards the end of the season. Even still, they went into the playoffs with a banged up offensive line and beat the brakes off the Buffalo Bills. So bringing in OBJ to solidify the left side of that line actually helps bring Cincinnati to the forefront. Can they compete with Kansas City? They've beaten them over the last few years. I just think that them shoring up the offensive line gives them another shot to put Joe Burrow and the Bengals in the AFC title game or the Super Bowl. The number 3 offseason move that I think is going to shape this upcoming NFL season is Jalen Ramsey being traded to the Miami Dolphins. Arguably one of the best cornerbacks over the last 5 years. Jalen Ramsey won a Super Bowl title with the LA Rams, and he brings his skill set over to Miami. Now, I don't know if he's going to be the number 1 or if Xavier Howard is going to be the number 1. It's hard to tell, but you have 2 top-flight cornerbacks that can guard a number 1 wide receiver. He takes over CB whatever for Byron Jones because Byron just couldn't seem to stay healthy. Now, this tandem could be the best in the league, and you think about last season's acquisition of Bradley Chubb, this Miami defense could be formidable. We already know what they can do on the offensive side. If Tua Tagovailoa actually stays healthy, him, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, possibly the addition of Dalvin Cook, we don't know yet. This team could fight for the top spot in the AFC. When a team has 2 number 1 corners, they can be deployed in many ways. You can shift your defense. You can do disguises. There are so many things that you can do. The only question is, are they getting the Jalen Ramsey, even close to the Jalen Ramsey of old? Is he past his prime? We are down to the last two offseason moves. And these two I kind of flip-flop, went back and forth with, like, this could be one, this could be one. I don't know. But being that I'm not a homer, I settled with the second off-season move that's going to shape the season, being Lamar Jackson being signed to a 5-year extension. As a Ravens fan, there's been speculation over the last couple of off seasons that the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson were going to part ways, and his franchise was essentially going to have to start over. But surprise, surprise, right before the draft, the Ravens signed Lamar to a record-breaking 5-year extension, essentially telling Lamar, we want you to be here as a quarterback. So now Lamar can concentrate on football. He doesn't have the distractions and the questions coming about, is he going to resign? Is he going to play under the franchise tag? Does he want to be traded even though he requested one? This also freed up some money for the Ravens to go out there and sign Odell Beckham Jr. Just believe with them paying Lamar this type of money, they now have to go all in on their quarterback as far as protection, scheme, just listening to what his needs are. They went outside Todd Monken, they drafted Zay Flowers, they went and brought in Laquan Treadwell, Nelson Aguilar. Hopefully Rashad Bateman can come back. Lamar can live up to his promise that he made Baltimore on draft night by bringing us a Super Bowl. So there is technically just one move left that really can reshape the landscape of the 2023 NFL season. This one move may have shifted the power in the AFC East and the AFC as a whole if this individual can live up to expectations for past performances. That would be Aaron Rodgers traded to the New York Jets. Now, last season, I will say they turned it around a bit. They were a quarterback away from making it to the playoffs. Don't know why that they thought Zach Wilson was the quarterback of the future. Of course, sometimes you just have to take your chances. And that the Jets have had many first-round picks over the last several years. Didn't work out, and the ownership and front office knew they needed a bona fide QB to get this team where they wanted to be. Not having a championship since 1969, Jets are now all in. Not only did they bring Aaron Rodgers into the fold, he brought a few of his friends with him, helped acclimate him to the team, get him comfortable. Brought in Allen Lazard, and they brought in Randall Cobb. Have Rookie of the Year, Garrett Wilson. Hopefully Breece Hall can come back. Interrupted, this team has the making of one of the top teams in the NFL. It is yet to be seen because Aaron Rodgers did regress last year. The offensive system, was it the lack of weapons that he had, being that he was dealing with a bunch of rookies on the offensive side of the ball? That has yet to be seen, but we shall see. Now, there are two more moves that possibly would have ranked in this top 10, but they are yet to be made. That is Dalvin Cook, still waiting to sign with the team, and DeAndre Hopkins. Hopefully, both can sign with the Ravens. We can just have this list flooded with Ravens talk. No, most of us are waiting on bated breath because Dalvin Cook did say, I'm waiting to see what DeAndre Hopkins does because I would love to play with him. There could possibly be one team hits the jackpot if these two prize-free agents left on the market. So this is my top 10 off-season moves that will help shape the 2023 NFL season. Let me know in the comments which acquisitions you felt should have made the list, and we'll probably revisit it, have a few conversations about it. But I think these 10 are the 10 most important ones that have occurred so far. Make sure before you leave, you hit that like and subscribe button, turn on that notification bell so you know that when I come out with a new video or I do a live stream, so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me, and I will see y'all next time. Boy.